Hi, everyone. Thank you so much for joining us. My name is Destiny Flordelisa, Vice President of Sales and Operations here at smartsupplies.us. Joining me today is our President and CEO, Ms. Fallon Jones, all the way from Bangkok, Thailand. Hi, Fallon. Welcome. Thanks for joining us.
Hey,
How was your trip?
it was it was good. It was good. I can't complain because I'm here, but I did have to fight tooth and nail to get here. So because of the pandemic, there have been restrictions put in place, as there should be. Other countries are taking COVID very, very serious, and the airport is almost like a hospital now, and you're escorted every step of the way. I started off flying to Seattle, and then I was going to go from Seattle to Doha, Qatar, and which is close to Saudi Arabia, Middle East area. And then I was going to go from Qatar to Bangkok. Right, that was my original flight plan, and I had a 39-hour flight plan. But then when I got to Seattle, my certificate of entry was incorrect. And what I mean was I had been talking back and forth with the Thai consulate, the embassy in Los Angeles, which I'm so jealous of how easy this was for my father because he was leaving out of Panama. He was in Nicaragua, then Honduras, Nicaragua, then Panama. So he could just walk into a Thai embassy, get his certificate of entry and his visa, and then leave, right? So my father and his wife, they got a visa because it's required out of Panama. But I didn't need a visa, one, because I'm a U.S. passport holder, but they have this visa exempt that you can apply for to where you don't need a visa to go into Thailand. And you typically don't even need a visa to go to Thailand. But I filled it out the way that they filled it out. And I was in such a rush that instead of putting my flight numbers on the certificate of entry, I put my confirmation numbers. So they did not let me on the plane to Seattle. And then they told me you can wait here for 2 more days. And if someone doesn't make the flight on Friday, you can get on Friday's flight. But I was not going to leave, me getting here to do all that I need to do to chance, hoping that someone doesn't get on the flight. So I created my own flight plan. Yeah, I would never do that. So I created my own flight plan. I saw that from Seattle that same night, there was a flight from Los Angeles to Seattle. I'm sorry, from Seattle to Los Angeles. I flew to LA. And the reason I chose LA is because, one, the Thai consulate that I was talking with is in LA. We don't have one in Arizona, where we are. And also there was way more flights leaving out of Los Angeles.
International airport.
Yeah, international, of course.
Right.
So I took the chance. I flew to Los Angeles. I spoke with the Thai consulate all day, which I think was Friday. They finally I fixed my issue. They issued me my certificate of entry. And then when I was checking in, which I made sure that I checked in 4 hours early, almost 3.5 hours early to my flight, in case there was any issue. Because now my flight was now instead of flying Qatar Airways, I was flying Singapore. And Singapore Air has little different requirements, right? So I checked in super early and come to find out I did not have the right insurance. And they want your insurance to specifically say COVID and specifically to say 100,000. My insurance is better than that. I have more than 100,000. I have the best insurance in Arizona. There's no way I'm not covered for COVID. I'm covered for any emergency. But they needed a piece of paper that said exactly that. So right there in front of the flight attendant or the lady checking me in at the airline, I purchased new insurance, which it only cost me $52. I mean, it's a small fee to get no problem, right?
Right.
So I purchased new insurance right there. That specifically would say COVID, specifically would say 100,000, and it's travel insurance only from the time that I'm there, right? And I sent her that document, she printed it out, and they let me on the plane. So I had a stop in Singapore, which in Singapore, from the moment you get off the plane, they usher you through a quarantine area that's all, blocked off in plastic and all that, and then you have to sit in this area until your next flight is going to leave. You cannot move around their airport. It's called a transit area. Yeah. So after that, when the flight landed, they made us go through all those same steps to get back on the flight. Then I made it to Thailand, same situation. They question you. They make sure they look at your COVID test, your certificate of entry, all these millions of documents. It's the funniest thing that you said to me. You said, man, all this documentation is like you're going to the moon. It's like you're an astronaut.
Right. You can actually make a movie with just the entire process that you just
Oh
went
my
through,
goodness.
just getting into Bangkok?
I fought to get here because I knew what we had to do. And I said, I have too much product to get on the water. I have too many contracts working on. I'm not about to give up, just because there's this one issue. I'll fly all over the country.
Right.
If I got to go to Los Angeles, to New York, to any other, in Miami, to any other international airport, I'm going there and catching a flight out. And the reason I did that is because your COVID test only lasts so long. You only have 3 days of a negative COVID test to start flying internationally, or they'll make you take it again. Secret, I took it again anyway while I was at the airport, just in case.
That's smart.
Yeah, just in case.
Just in case it expired.
That's right. I had a new one coming that next day, and as soon as I got off the plane in Singapore, my new one was there, and I didn't have anything to worry about. So I fought to get here, but I'm here, so it was okay. It was okay.
I'm glad you're there. Have you had time to just shower and relax and get some rest?
Barely. That's the first night. The first night that I got here, I was so backed up with work on both ends. My solar stuff and the stuff that I do with my dad, PPE, all of that. So backed up that I just worked for the most part. But then, and I didn't even unpack anything. I got here to this because when you get here, you have to quarantine. So I'm stuck here in this room for 12 days, I think it is. It's 15 days total that you have to quarantine in an ASQ hotel. Which, by the way, I'm going to make a whole separate video of just what it takes to get into Thailand in case anybody else is trying to come here. I feel like that's necessary content for the world, traveling right now through this pandemic. But once I got here, I didn't unpack anything. I didn't do anything. I just quickly showered, got here, did a little work because I was working on the way, and then I passed out. And then I knew I had to wake up soon because I have to work this really weird schedule where I'm only sleeping 4 hours and then working out. And then sleeping 4 hours and working so that I can work on American time and Thailand time. So
both hemisphere.
you're going to do international.
Right.
You got to work office hours in both hemispheres. So I haven't had a lot of rest. I really haven't had. I had some, so I can't complain. I haven't had really time to take in anything. I just, I'm working. I'm here to work. I'm not here to have fun and vacation. We plan on bringing the family here in the summer. We'll do that in the summer. We'll bring the family in vacation a little bit while we do a little
right.
work, for the contracts coming out in the summer, but this is all work.
Speaking of work, can you tell our buyers and brokers why we're in Thailand, or why you're in Thailand? Why SmartSupplies.us is in Thailand?
Yeah, of course. So I'm here for a few different reasons. One, we have been heavily promoting AE. We've had our contract with AE, which is a very reputable OEM, and they had several OEM agreements. They've had some trouble delivering, and I don't know about anybody else, but if you buy something and you really want it and it means something to you, the first thing that you do is not say, give me my money back. You go over there and you get your product, you get your stuff, and you figure out what you need to do to help them to get it. So that's what we've been doing. We're over here making sure that the product gets on the water. We have 2 new agreements, one with the factory and one with another OEM. So we're just solidifying contracts. I'm here to do a lot of marketing and promotions for our new brands, for our existing brand. Now that AE is getting a little bit back in the swing of things, I'm promoting and marketing. So we're going to be doing a lot of factory tours, interviewing the factory owners, the staff, just really talking about what it takes to get gloves out of the factory. I feel like brokers and all the intermediates that are trying to get gloves, they really don't know what it takes. And it's a lot of miscommunication and misconceptions that it's simple and easy. And when product is not delivered, they are really hard on the factories. But my dad has a whole different approach. What he does is when they're having trouble, because he does business over here, he has a factory over here, he knows how to procure commodities over here, he helps. He jumps in and says, okay, well, here, let me take a look at your back end, let me take a look at your supply chain, let me look at your agreements, let me figure out where I can help you. So he's in the business of building smaller OEMs and companies up so that they can become factories. Because once they do, then we help them, and now we can grow in capacity. It's a growth plan for us. We don't have the short-term plan that most companies and some brokers have of just getting in, making $1 million and getting out. We have a long-term growth plan to help these guys become successful, because when they're successful, we're successful.
Definitely. I think Jeff said it best. We're only as good as our factories.
That's right. 100%. So if we want them to be good, we're going to help them. We don't just cry and complain. We put up or shut up. We do the work.
Okay. Now that we have, boots on the ground, what else can we expect from you these next couple of weeks?
We're launching these new brands. I'm so excited about the new brands as well. Medina Supply, they offer Guardian Glove, which we've already sent out some STOs for. They also offer Medcare, and that's going to be $8. They're offering us 24 million over a year at $8, and they got a lot, ready right now. So we're going to be doing a lot of meetings and factory tours with them. We also have High Care, which I am super crazy.
That's huge.
That's huge. So for those of you, smart buyers and brokers that don't know and want to take in this piece of education, High Care is a very commonly used factory for their certificates. A lot of these smaller OEMs that do not have 501k or any of that, they purchase their gloves from High Care as the manufacturer.
Right.
They can have 510k and CE certs and all of that. And then they brand them just like we would if we were bringing them here to America and then making our own brand. So that's what they do. That's what OEMs are, right?
Mm-hmm.
So High Care they don't usually have capacity, and my father has been talking with this guy. We've been kind of stalking them heavily, and we got connected with them, and we've been talking back and forth for a few months now, and they finally have a little tiny bit of capacity. So we're going to take it on. And because of who they are, and they're not an OEM, they're a factory, which we will be doing. We're going to fly over there, by the way. We're going to do some tours there, meet the staff. But because they are a real factory, they're heavily priced. They're high and expensive. But for those people that don't want to take a risk with an OEM or just want for sure product, they pay the higher price. You pay for the quality that you want. And High Care is pure quality. So their price is $13.90, and to be 100% honest, they're saying that it's going to go down over the couple months, but I've said that before and it didn't happen, and people have told us that before and it didn't happen, so I don't want to rely on that. Right, I don't want to rely on that. The price is $13.90. It is what it is, and we're going to sell it. We're going to sell the best out of it. We have a couple buyers that we've already talked to about it that are already interested, and we're going to be signing that contract. So that's what's next. Really promoting our two new brands, since we've already fulfilled our entire AE contract, and now we're just focused on deliveries with AE, and we're focused on marketing and promoting our new brands. And the other thing that we'll be doing while we're here is a lot of content. I'm going to try to produce content every day. While I'm here in quarantine, I'll have some different type of content. Just updates on what's going on with us, and like I said, what it took to get here, the process, in case anyone else wants to come to Thailand. My dad also is a teacher. He's like a motivational speaker type teacher, and I get a lot of really good information and knowledge from him. So I'll be sharing that with you guys. I'm sure all the brokers and buyers can use that at this time. And then as soon as we are allowed out of our rooms, which is on day 7 after this quarantine time, we will do an interview. Destiny will interview my dad, and we'll be able to ask him a bunch of questions as the seller. And if you have any questions that you want to ask him or anything that you want to know, definitely email support@smartsupplies.us. We can include those questions in the interview. And then once we're out of this hotel, out of the ASQ quarantine hotel, and physically in the field and on the ground, then that's when the day-to-day content is going to step in as well, live day-to-day content.
Okay. You want to give us some sneak peeks of what those are? When you're out of your quarantine, like what are some of the things that you and Jeff are going to be doing?
We said that we would make sure we had a day where we did something fun.
Okay, that's always good.
So the interesting thing is, when I was young, we went to Egypt, to Cairo, and we have this picture of the two of us on camels. and I hated it when I was a kid. I don't know why. It just feels like sitting on a camel. But I think I want to recreate that picture. But since we're here in Thailand, maybe this time we'll do it on elephants. I don't know. But
Yes.
something fun. Maybe we'll go to some temples. We'll try to one day at the end of the day after work is all done. We'll try to squeeze in something and record that. Destiny forced me to buy a GoPro, so I should be able to give you guys some good live content while we're out in the field. Factory visits, interviewing the factory owners and the factory staff. We do have a couple meetings with really large brokers and distributors. I'll try to record some of that or talk, I'm going to try to very heavily record all the important moments while I'm here so that everyone can have a real insight on what it takes, to really make this happen and to really get gloves out of Thailand or India.
I think our buyers and brokers are really going to appreciate that. So we are definitely looking forward to some factory videos. Maybe if you can even interview some of the factory owners or, sales manager there. We want to see some products, right?
Mm-hmm.
If you can, we also want to see them going into the water, going in on boats, containers. We want to see that live as well. So definitely take lots of videos for us.
I will. I absolutely will.
Awesome. Thank you so much for joining me in this video. And until next time, guys, don't forget to visit our website, www.smartsupplies.us. If you have any questions or you want to send in questions for our next interview with Jeff, go ahead and send me an email at support@smartsupplies.us. Until next time, thank you.
Bye, everyone.
Bye.